So I'm in chapter 3, measures of center. We won't finish this. This isn't going to be due. We'll finish it next time. But let's just start. Measures of center. So now we're in a real chapter where we're going to, chapter 1 and 2, they're really more introduction, overview, that kind of stuff. We're going to actually calculate things now in chapter 3. So finding the center of a group of data. You can see what we're going to do in this last chapter that'll be on our first exam. All right, so first off, key concept. The center of a data set. There's two main ways, really there's three. There's a third one. Mean, median, there's also mode. We'll probably get to that next time. There's three ways to get the middle of a data set. Mean, median, and mode. Have you heard of these? They're all called average, really. I mean, this book will encourage you to not use the word average because really it's a little bit of a loose term. It can mean any of those three. Mean, median, and mode are three ways to do what's called average. They're all three forms of average. Let me just begin this way. So let's suppose you want to know what would be a good thing. What if you're thinking about a major? What should I major in? And you're wanting to know what the average income is for that major. What if it's all about money for you? I hope it's not that. That's probably not the best way to go. But let's just play that way. I have somebody yesterday was telling me that nurse anesthetists, the average income is $400,000. That's quite a bit more than math teachers make. So he was encouraging his children to go in the way of becoming a nurse anesthetist. One of my buddies is a nurse anesthetist. So I'll have to. No wonder he has 5 horses. I'm sure he can. They do. They have like 5 horses, and they put them on. I'm sure if you make that kind of income, you can afford that. Anyway, so that's one. That's just one example that comes to mind of what you might. So what if you're reading journals of people that got different degrees, and then what their average income was out of college? And what if you read one of them, and you say, okay, so let's say somebody got a salary. Here were the salaries coming out of college. And let me see if I can just make up some numbers here. Well, here, let's do them. So these are people that got math degrees. Let's do math degrees. Math degrees out of the Naval Academy. You know the Navy Academy in Annapolis. Yeah, Annapolis, Maryland, right? Naval Academy. I have a buddy that went there 25 years ago. Anyway, 50. Let's say that the average salary coming out of the Naval Academy is $150,000 first year, right out of the chute, for a math degree. That's pretty impressive, huh? Whereas, let's say if you have a chemistry degree, the average salary is only $60,000. Wow. I'm just making up numbers right now. But I actually do have some truth behind them. That's quite a different story, huh? I'm going to major in math. Well, I'm hitting on actually some true numbers, and I've got a point. The average salary in a certain year, I don't remember when it was, probably in the 1980s. I'm old. I'm speaking of like it might be 1990. It's probably 88. All right, anyway, so graduates from 1988 that had math degrees from the Naval Academy, the average salary was very, very big. I don't know if it was $150,000, but it was something giant for math degrees. Now, whereas everybody else, chemistry, physics, engineering, was all normal, 60, 70, 50,000. The average salary. Now, why did the average salary go so high for math degrees at the Naval Academy somewhere in the 80s, I think it was, 88 or something like that?
Yes.
Because there was a certain individual that graduated from the Naval Academy. I think it was in 1988 or so. And he took that math degree from the Naval Academy, and then he went on and played basketball. And he did quite well. David Robinson. Yeah. David Robinson has a math degree from the Naval Academy. And David Robinson's salary, obviously, was very, very, very big. My point is, it throws the average way off, doesn't it? Right? If you're thinking, oh, wow, okay, I'm going to go to the Naval Academy and get a math degree. Because I'm going to make $150,000. No way. No way. Right? Because how did that come about? So my point in this example is averages can be deceiving and you got to be careful. So there was only like 10 math majors that graduated from the Naval Academy that year, David Robinson being one of them. Their incomes were all, $50,000, $60,000, maybe $70,000. That'd be a pretty high one for that back then. $50,000, and then you got David Robinson, $2 million, or whatever. So if you add those up and divide by 5, you get a really big number. You see the problem with averaging in this case. I'm showing you when averages can go wrong, and there's something we do about it. So you tracking with me so far. How do we do an average? We add them up and divide by 5 or however many numbers. Huh? Yeah.
Why not take out the biggest number? Like it's so different.
What's that?
Are we allowed to take out like the biggest number if it's different?
That's one way. That is one way. I'm not going to show that figure, but you're right. That is one thing they do is they throw out the outliers. David Robinson's an outlier, right? It wasn't his math knowledge that got him that salary, right? So that's it's deceiving. It fools us. So if you do average that way, that's why there's different kinds of average. I'm showing you why. If you do average that way, and by average, that's called the mean. I don't know if that's when you add, and I'll get all particular last time. I just want to give you the overview and we'll be done. If you add up and divide, like you're used to for average, that's called the mean. And do you see how deceiving it would be? In this case, it would fool you if you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to get that kind of salary. No, you're not, unless you can play basketball like David Robinson, right? So instead, there's another kind of average. Y'all know what the other kind is? That would help in this situation? What is it? It's the median. The median would help. And what is the median? How's that a different kind of average? What do? They don't add them up and divide. They take the number in the middle. They don't add anything. They just literally put them in order and grab the one in the middle. That's another kind of average. So if I put these in order, they are in order. Actually, I'd have to move this 50,000 up here. Okay, here. Now they're in order. They go from lowest to highest, right? So, 50, 50, 60, 70, and then David Robinson at 2 million. So which number is smack dab in the middle? There are 5, like the fingers, so there is a middle. This one right here, 60. There's 2 numbers below him, 2 numbers above him. So what would the median be? 60,000. That's the real average. If you're going to the Naval Academy major in math, wondering what salary you might make, the median does a way better job of giving you a feel of what to expect, average, than does the mean in this case, because David Robinson threw the whole thing off. You see what I'm talking about? Now, you'll see that on the news all the time. Whenever they list information, and you see it all the time with house prices and salaries. Those are 2 of the ones they always do. Where there's super big and super small numbers in the same data set, if you pay attention to the news, they'll always say the median house price or the median salary. Like even in Fresno or Lemoore, you've got houses around here, the doctors own, right, that are worth millions. And then you have more, modest homes. And so if you add all those up and divide, those doctors' homes are going to make the average go wrongly high, not really what the average person lives in, right? Whereas median does a better job when you have super high and super low numbers of giving you the middle, doesn't it? That makes sense? So we'll stop there. That's the overview, why we have different kinds of averages. We'll talk about mode next time.